This is a VR to Robin at Toadstool Tarot and my story of some of what tarot means to me. Tarot is a deck of oppositions. It is mystery versus science, story versus psyche, unconscious thought versus conscious thought. It is both old and new, shrouded in myth, magic, mystery, tradition, and unknown history and origins, all of which have been argued by many the world over. It is the Golden Dawn, in all forms, or perhaps it's just a blank bunch of glorious pictures. In equal measures, it is a pack of cards designed or assigned meanings to each individual card, meanings that have been handed down through the ages. But somewhere, at some point in time, all of these meanings were created by someone or many. They created all these meanings and in doing so designed a story that is contained within a box. Tarot can be seen as a set of algorithms to the scientific mind, the mathematical themes, the numerology, the sacred geometry, blending of concepts, nonsense, all rolled into one happy story. Yet it continues to fascinate, inspire, and evoke some feeling of this mystical knowing to all those that come across and choose to explore this thing called tarot. These pictures inspire the mind into thinking in a different way. It can create the hanged man, the tower, the death moments in our lives, simply from how we choose to interpret these pieces of papers and cards that present themselves in front of us, just as it can prevent them. It is a tool that can be applied to understanding self, others, seeing problems in different angles, giving different views and opinions to what we maybe once held ourselves. It is a tool that continues to evolve, grow, change, inspire, and extract new ways for its use and design as we explore its application into the situations and spreads many placements and questions of life. Tarot is used to help craft that colouring book of life with these little windows of imagery that give us the ability to link our patchwork into that quilt of life, stitching ourselves in, joining everyone's stories together, making us a whole, a unite, connecting us together. A magical deck that somehow holds enough power to piece our souls together, uniting our subconscious and conscious, illuminating triggers and fears, giving us that ability to recognise them and conquer them if we choose. It is empowering us with choices that we make on our own in fully conscious state, allowing us to live our best lives. Tarot awakens the psychic within us, the ability that was always there, the one we ignored and never realised has always been talking to us internally. The sixth sense is now allowed to speak and is given space to do so, and we do it without judgment. And yet it is just a deck of cards with pictures that, when placed into set positions and set questions, these cards suddenly provoke a creative thinking from a place of flow within. This is something seen with other types of decks, which now created in many different forms. I mean, there's Oracle, Lenormand, spread machines, story cards, Dixit cards, soul cards, curio decks, and the list goes on. They all have this ability to do the same thing. They just speak to different minds in different ways. The bias becomes unbiased, it comes from the interpretation of the reader and the way that the story is chosen to be used to inform what they do next, or indeed choose what they don't do next with the cards. Tarot can be that best friend, the advice giver, the nurturer, the enemy, the honest slap in the face, that truth teller, the person we don't want to listen to, usually a parent. It can open up the world of knowledge and joyous rabbit holes to disappear down, learning things that otherwise we would never have known or seen. It enriches our experiences in the vast plains of life. It is a teacher, an establishment of its own creation, inspiring creators as well to link it into new imagery, new windows, new concepts and ideas. It brings us close to the Kabbalistic, shamanic, esoteric, animistic, folklore, mythology, cosmos, astrology, death, sex, love, laughter, spirituality even, and so much more, all rolled into these 78 cards. It is also artwork, collector's items, but imagination unlimited for what we see and behold in front of us. Tarot continues to write its own story and journey, with each person individually making it a personal story that only we can write for ourselves. And we discover as we discover how each card links into our life and our experience and our stories. But never allow it to live our lives for us. Always listen and live autonomously. So with that being said, I encourage you to pick up your deck of cards, go forth and paint your journal boldly, weaving your story and yourself into your patchwork of life. And that is some of what tarot is to me.